internet connection. So we're just going to play what we have already played.
Nice.
All right, here we go.
And can we get that live stream link too?
Yeah, it's still setting up now.
Oh, it says it's working on my side.
I have that it's being live streamed. The little link.
Yep.
Let me.
I'm gonna let Dad do his thing. Their thing.
Y'all are horizontal, but you're upside down, so that's just where
That's what she said. Everybody should have surprise nutcakes already written in, including the narrator.
So don't add more, is what you're saying.
I mean, if the moment sways you, I guess go for it. Let me say we're doing our thing real quick, and then I will start posting and shit. All right. Oh, that is not what I copied and pasted. That is something from work. We don't want to do that. Here we go.
Good job.
All right. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
We are the Not Ready for Quarantine players, and we are not ready for technology. And we are also going to be reading 4 episodes of The Golden Girls. And we're doing that for The Squish, which is a queer outline. What am I trying to say? Helpline.
Hotline?
So if you are watching this and if you're still with us, thank you. But please donate. This is the link that you'll need, and it'll be up the whole episode. And I think my brain is dead. Let me introduce everybody. How about? I'm Ginger. Thank the Lord. And I'll be Rose, and now you see why.
It's perfect casting.
It really is. I couldn't say no. We have Sean Watson, who will be one of the many extras today. We appreciate a lot. We have Drew Chase, who will also be one of the extras. I guess I should have called you Mona, but I called you Drew, and that's what's happening today. We also have Robert Nash here as an extra as well. And then we have Danny Wilson as our fearless narrator. And my other Golden Girls today, we've got Michelle, aka Mom. She is going to be Sophia, which is too fitting. Sorry, I did use your government. We also have Stephanie Six Trombones as Blanche Devereaux. Super excited. And I think the MVP already, Andrew Wasson as Dorothy Spornak. I can never say it right, but you know.
The Spornak, yep, you got it.
Cool. All right. Well, without further ado, I say we just roll right into this. And now Danny is muted.
Oh, no.
Can't hear you.
No.
Somehow Stephanie transferred the
Right, Stephanie's audio starts working, now Danny's is broken.
The curse worked!
Or nor.
Oh, nor indeed. Nope. I think they'll be right back, and then we can get started. But while we're waiting on that, please feel free to donate to the Squish. They help queer people in crisis.
We should have planned. Watson could have played the intro music.
Oh yeah.
You know, I've never played that before. Actually, I need to fix that, I guess. But
well, figure it out on intermission, and we'll start on the second half.
I'm sure that there is sheet music online. So.
I can hear dogs. Is that you?
I hear dogs, Danny.
I can only hear the dogs.
Nope, can't hear you.
That's so
How do we hear
weird.
dogs,
Just
but not
dogs.
you?
Do you have your audio set to dog?
It's that new Zoom feature, auto translate to speak dog. God.
Living a dream here.
Maybe
Do you have more than one headphone? Like, is the earbud like the one with the microphone next to the dog?
They're both in me now.
Okay.
Got it.
We got it?
We
That
got
was
it.
what it was.
Now? Oh, don't say it. Phrasing. But it's
I
working,
tried.
so I guess.
I was gonna say, you act like that wasn't on purpose.
I love this. This is the magic
Can you
of this
still hear
artwork.
me?
I'm already so excited.
Can you still currently hear me?
Yes, you can
Okay.
go forth.
I gave Annie my other earphone, and hers has the microphone, it turns out. So that's what happened. Sorry, everyone. All right. We are starting with season 1, episode 1, the engagements. The credits roll, and we're thanked for being a friend. I like that. That was cute. There's an exterior view of
Somebody's clearly read the script beforehand.
Blanche's gorgeous, though confusingly laid out Miami home. We cut to the interior, and we're in the living room, complete with the wicker couches. Dorothy is rushing in from the entrance with a briefcase in hand. She sets it and her purse down on the coffee table and jaunts through the living room right to the kitchen, where a cook named Coco is at the stove.
I taught a class today, the finest school in Dade County. 2 girls had shaved heads and 3 boys had green hair.
They're expressing themselves.
Well, I expressed myself. I told them they had to leave, that they were too ugly to look at. Now the parents are mad. Father came in with a 3-piece suit and defended Tiffany, a bald girl with a nose ring.
She grabs some oranges and looks toward the skillet on the stove.
What's that?
Enchiladas rancheros.
Why don't you just shoot me?
Rose comes in from the garage. She walks over to the random chair by the kitchen door and puts down her purse.
Hi.
Oh, hi, Rose.
What a day. One sad person after another.
Rose, you work at grief counseling. What do you expect, comedians?
Well, it would be a change of pace.
Blanche enters from the living room wearing a mink stole.
Dorothy, can I borrow your mink stole?
It's Miami in June. Only cats are wearing fur.
You going out?
No, she's gonna sit here where it's 112 degrees and eat enchiladas.
Rose grabs some orange juice as well, and Blanche makes her way to the refrigerator.
I just need some cucumbers to put on my eyes.
You'll have trouble seeing, Blanche.
Oh, it's very good. It reduces puffiness.
Does it work on thighs?
I don't know, honey. I don't need it on my thighs.
Blanche leaves the kitchen, and Rose gets up to follow her, but Dorothy puts a hand on her shoulder and sits her back down at the kitchen table.
Who's she going out with?
Harry. Again.
Harry? Who is this Harry?
All Blanche said was that he still had his own teeth and hair.
Oh, it is wonderful dating in Miami. All the single men under 80 are cocaine smugglers.
You know, I'd kill to be 20 again.
Oh, I would kill to be 40 again. Oh, I had the shock of my life today. I was in the teacher's lounge talking to a group of girls in their 20s. Oh, they were so pretty. At that age, you don't even have to be pretty, and you're pretty. We were laughing and giggling and having a great time, and I completely forgot that I was older. I just felt like one of the girls, and we had a wonderful time. Then I got into my car and caught a glimpse of myself, and I almost had a heart attack. This old woman was in the mirror. I didn't even recognize her.
A beat.
Who was it?
It was me.
Oh.
Blanche re-enters the kitchen in the throes of preparing to meet Harry again.
Oh, Rose, I'm borrowing your earrings. Oh, Lord, I'd love to have a facelift by 8.
She turns to leave the room, but is stopped by a stern Dorothy.
Blanche, who is Harry?
Oh, girls, he's just wonderful. He's very gallant. He's a perfect gentleman. He's a great dancer. Oh, and he doesn't make noises when he chews.
Chewing. That's way up there on my list. Comes right after intelligent.
Oh, he doesn't talk loud at the movies, doesn't take his own pulse, and he's still interested.
In what?
Rose, if you have to ask, it does not matter anymore.
And he proposed.
She walks out of the kitchen, leaving Dorothy and Rose confused and concerned. They both get up to walk after her.
Blanche, wait a minute. He proposed? You've only known him a week.
Blanche stops and turns around with a giant grin on her face.
And he wants an answer tonight.
Tonight?
What are you going to tell him?
Oh, I don't know. He's very wonderful, but I have only known him for a week.
That's right.
But I don't want to lose him. Girls, I just don't know what I'm going to tell him. I have to go put on my face.
She exits toward her room, leaving a shocked Rose and Dorothy.
What if she marries him? What'll happen to us? This house is hers.
Then we'll move.
We can't afford to buy a house. What do we do for collateral? What do we have for collateral? A gay cook?
Oh, come on, Rose. Nobody is getting married. Now, let's go talk to Blanche.
Dorothy heads to Blanche's room with Rose in tow.
Dorothy will be bag ladies.
Cut to Blanche's room. We see her at a vanity lined with every cosmetic and anti-aging potion 1985 had to offer. As she's putting on makeup, there's a knock at the door.
Blanche.
Come in.
Dorothy enters and approaches the vanity. Rose is right behind her.
Blanche. Blanche, your friend Harry wants an answer tonight. What are you going to tell him?
I haven't decided. I guess I'll know when I hear it come out of my mouth.
You'll know when you hear it come out of your mouth? This isn't a belch, Blanche. This is marriage.
She notices all the cosmetics.
Will you look at this? She has more colors than Benjamin Moore paints.
You mustn't rush into anything, Blanche. You hardly know him.
I just wonder what my husband George would think about me and Harry.
Well, if he was alive, he probably would not like it. But since he's dead, I don't think it poses a problem.
I want him to know that I'm happy, but that I could never be as happy with Harry as the same way I was with him.
He knows, Blanche. He knows. Your thoughts and feelings go right to him. You can communicate directly from your heart. Can't you, Dorothy?
Oh, don't ask me. I can't get through to New Jersey with MCI.
The doorbell rings.
That's him. Oh, he's early. I haven't finished my face.
The only thing left to do is dip it in bronze. We'll get it.
Thanks.
Dorothy grabs Rose's hand and leads her out into the hallway. They make their way to answer the door.
I wonder what he looks like.
I hope he doesn't have hair in his ears.
Dorothy just stares at Rose as she makes a disgusted face. She opens the door to find a tiny old woman holding her purse with a death grip and a paper bag filled with clothes.
Hi there.
Ma, what's the matter?
Everyone's fine. No one died. The home burned down.
My God, are you all right? How did you get here?
I hitched.
Oh, Ma.
I took a cab.
Well, you should have called.
I'm perfectly capable of managing myself. I don't need help. I'm a totally independent person.
I know.
I need $67 for the cab.
$67? Mama, this is crazy. The home is 15 minutes from here.
My cab driver is Cuban. He said there was an additional tax for a bilingual driver.
I'll take care of him.
She grabs her purse and heads outside while Rose looks after Sophia.
Sit down, Sophia. You must be exhausted.
Why? I rode in the cab. I didn't push it.
Blanche enters the living room, fully made up.
Oh, Sophia, honey. How nice to see you.
Who are you?
It's me, Blanche.
You look like a surprise nutcake.
Sophia, the things you say. She didn't mean that, Blanche.
Of course I mean it. Look at her. My cab driver would fall in love.
She heads to the kitchen.
Can I get something to eat? Or is the fancy man in the kitchen?
The way she talks.
Oh, she can't help it.
Oh, I've known plenty of women who have had strokes. Some of them were in very bad shape, but they're still ladies.
Oh, but this stroke destroyed the part of her brain that senses what she says. She just says whatever she thinks. She can't help it.
Sophia walks out of the kitchen with a giant saltine cracker.
He's an okay petunia.
A frustrated Dorothy comes back inside and shuts the front door behind her.
Ma, the cab driver said you promised him a $67 tip.
Don't be silly. I said $7 tip. Why don't these people learn English if they're going to live here? This is Miami. I have less trouble getting around Ecuador.
The doorbell rings again. Blanche heads over to answer it.
Oh, I'll get it. Harry, hi.
Ah, my surprise nut cake.
Oh, Harry. Everybody, this is Harry. Harry, this is Rose.
Rose?
And Dorothy.
Dorothy?
Hi, Harry.
And this is Sophia.
Well, you must be Blanche's sister.
You must be blind.
Sophia's home just burned down.
Oh, that's terrible.
Not to me. It was a retirement home. And you know what they did? They set off the fire alarm in a retirement home. Who can rush? Half the people have walkers. The other half can't get out of the chairs, but they got bells going off like crazy. You know what that does to the heart that only beat a few times a week? It's now pretty.
We'd better go. We have reservations.
Harry helps Blanche into Dorothy's mink stole.
I hope he's taking you to a cold climate.
Good night. Thanks, ladies. It was a pleasure.
Nice meeting you. Have fun.
As soon as the door closes, Sophia's ready.
The man is a scuzzball.
This is so sad. We were all so lonely, and then by a miracle, we found each other.
Rose, we both answered an ad to share Blanche's house that we found at the supermarket. It was not the resurrection. It was hardly a miracle.
Well, to me, it was a miracle because we're happy. It's not fair, you know? I mean, we get married, we have kids, the kids leave, and our husbands die. Is that some kind of a test? You don't work that hard. You don't go through everything you go through to be left alone. We are alone, Dorothy. We really are. Our families are gone and we're alone. And there are too many years left and I don't know what to do.
Get a poodle.
The ladies look up from their touching moment as Sophia takes a bite out of her giant cracker. That sounds awful. We cut to later in the evening. Dorothy, Rose, and Coco are out on the lanai in robes and pajamas. Rose is pacing with anxiety and Coco is serving them iced tea.
It's yes. I just know it is. She's going to marry him.
Oh, come on, Rose.
She can't help it. Blanche needs a man. She told me when George died, she made a date at the funeral. Oh, not that she didn't love George. She just can't be without a man. You know what I'm saying?
She proceeds to do an awkward, trying to be sexy sort of shimmy toward Dorothy, who just takes it all in.
What am I doing up? I'm subbing for a teacher who was shot by a student. I need all the sleep I can get.
She gets up from her chair and heads into the living room. Rose and Coco follow her in.
I used to sleep so well, I never even turned over. I'd wake up with a perfect hairdo. Charlie, on the other hand, moves all night long. His side of the bed looks like a murder took place.
Rose, Charlie is dead.
Why tell her?
Coco, it's 15 years.
I know he's dead. I'm not crazy. I just like to talk about him in the present tense sometimes. It just makes him seem closer.
That's fine, Rose. You do that. I don't mind at all.
Sure, Rose. Set a place at the table.
The front door opens and Blanche has returned from her date with Harry.
Well, hi.
What happened?
Oh, we had the nicest time. Went to Joe's. You ever been to Joe's?
Yes, what happened?
I had the stone crabs. I've never had stone crabs. You ever have stone crabs?
Yes, Blanche, just tell us.
Oh, I was just so relieved they didn't have eyes. I can't eat anything with eyes, like lobster.
I can't eat anything that moves.
Like what, Rose? Horses?
Like oysters.
Oysters don't move.
Coco, they could dance. Who cares? Tell us.
Oysters move very slowly, and you have to watch closely.
Blanche, are you going to marry Harry?
Marry Harry. Marry Harry.
A little rhyme.
Knock it off. Are you?
Yes. Next week.
Dorothy, Rose, and Coco stand in shocked silence. And then,
I knew it. I knew she was going to marry him.
But next week?
Well, at our age, long engagements don't make sense. I have to go to bed.
Where will you live?
Well, here.
Where will we live?
Don't worry, we'll live. We'll live.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that.
It's so hard to find a place to live.
Well, you can just stay right here.
Well, that's settled.
Oh, Rose, how could we stay here with Blanche and Harry?
She just said,
Well, you certainly can until you find a place.
however long that takes.
Well, we're going to New York for the honeymoon. And just hope I don't get murdered.
she heads to her room. Dorothy and Rose return to the wicker couch.
I shouldn't have taken a drink. Charlie and I waited 2 whole years before we got married.
I got married before my father finished the sentence.
You married your father?
My father told Stan that he had to marry me. I was pregnant.
You had a blowgun wedding?
If you live in the Amazon, in Queens, it's called shotgun.
Well, maybe that's why he left, because you forced him into it.
Rose, he left me 38 years later for a stewardess that he met on a business trip to Hawaii. It was her first flight. They said on arrival, give the passengers a lay. She got confused. He got lucky. And now they live on Maui. Oh, it's really wonderful. A 65-year-old man with gout learning to windsurf. I hope he trips on his thongs and falls into a volcano.
Sophia enters in a robe, still clutching her purse.
Oh, it's you.
Oh, Sophia, did we wake you?
I heard a noise. I thought it was robbers, so I hid my jewels. Now I can't remember where.
Ma, you don't have any jewels.
Oh, thank God, because I can't find them.
Coco comes in from the kitchen.
Tea, Sophia?
How about a shot of gin with a beer back?
That was dumb of me to have tea this late. I'll go to sleep and I'll have to get up and go.
And wake me up. You know, if you didn't drink before bedtime, you wouldn't have to wake up in the middle of the night.
I don't drink before bedtime. I stop all liquids at noon and I still wake up.
I never have that problem. Never. I sleep like a dog. I never get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. I go in the morning. Like clockwork. At 7 a.m., I pee. Unfortunately, I don't wake up till 8.
We cut to a week later, and Dorothy is standing in the floor-length mirror in Blanche's room, getting ready for the wedding ceremony. Rose enters the room already dressed. She shuts the door behind her.
Where's Blanche?
In the bathroom.
I've got to talk to you.
What is it?
I know this sounds crazy, but I'm suspicious.
Of what?
Harry.
Harry?
And I don't know why. There's just something about it I don't like, and I have to tell Blanche.
Tell Blanche what?
That she can't marry him.
The wedding is in 12 minutes. You can't tell her that.
I owe it to her. I'm her friend.
But there's nothing to tell her. It's just some crazy hunch.
My hunches are never wrong. Mrs. Gandhi would be alive today if she had taken my call. I'm going to tell her.
You are not. I will not let you.
Rose has already headed toward the bathroom, but Dorothy physically puts herself between Rose and a crying Blanche dressed in a shiny yellow dress with mega shoulder pads. Seemingly her wedding dress?
I can't stop crying. I'm so happy and so sad. Kind of happy sad.
Speaking of sad, Blanche,
Shut up, Rose.
she's crying already. What's the difference?
Rose, pick that up.
And Dorothy grabs a random cosmetic off Blanche's vanity and chucks it across the room like Rose is a persnickety Pomeranian. Rose glares at Dorothy and does as she's told.
I just can't believe it. I'm getting married. What do you think about that?
Rose returns with the bottle.
Well, I think it's a mistake.
To wear all that makeup.
I know it's fast, but I just don't know when I'll find another like him. He just, girls, he makes me feel so good, so young, and so happy.
Oh, Rose, did you hear that? So happy.
Rose plasters a very fake-looking smile on her face.
Now I have to go to the bathroom again. When I get nervous, I have to go all the time. That's why I'm getting married here at the house. Public restrooms are so difficult for me. I wash my hands so thoroughly, and then I find it so hard to get out again without touching the doorknob.
Don't!
Be too long.
Dorothy clamps a hand over Rose's mouth so she can't speak.
Rose, that is a happy woman in there. Now I want you to promise that you will not say anything. Do you promise?
With a glare, Rose nods.
Are you sure?
She nods again. Blanche returns after the quickest piss of all time.
Well, what's got me so sad?
Dorothy quickly moves into a half headlock, half hug with Rose. Blanche looks touched. She joins in the hug.
Oh, I just never had two better friends. I can't stand the thought of leaving you.
Oh, Blanche, you look gorgeous. Shut up, Rose.
Oh,
Are you ready?
yes, I guess.
Stop!
But before she can say anything else, Dorothy yeets Rose into Blanche's closet and locks the door. I love when you write the narration. Coco enters the room.
The minister's here.
Oh, I need perfume.
Dorothy quickly grabs one off the vanity and ushers her out of the room while spraying her wig.
Perfume, perfume. Come on, let's go.
Coco takes a moment to smooth out the palm tree bedspread and hears Rose knock to be let out of the closet. As he goes to let her out, we fade to a scene later in the day. Blanche is coming back inside after searching for Harry.
He's a half hour late.
He probably got caught in traffic.
Ladies, I'm on a tight schedule. This is Miami. I've got funerals backed up.
Give us a few minutes, please.
5 more minutes. Then I go to bury Mr. Pincus.
The doorbell rings and Blanche looks relieved as she makes her way to answer.
You see?
But when she opens the door, a police officer is standing there.
Is there a Blanche Hollingsworth here?
Oh, God, he's been killed.
Arrested.
What?
He gave me this to give to you. He's a bigamist, ma'am. He's wanted in 4 states. He's got 6 wives. You got yourself mixed up with a real hustler. I'm sorry.
With that, the police officer takes off, with the minister hot on his heels.
Well, you won't be needing me today.
Blanche is frozen in place, holding the note from Harry in her hand. Dorothy comes over to comfort her.
Blanche, do you want to read the note?
She shakes her head, still shaken by the news.
Do you want me to read it to you?
Without even turning to look at her, Blanche hands the note over to Dorothy to read.
Dear Blanche, I guess you know by now. I'm really sorry. The thing is, I really liked you. This time was different. You're a special lady. Maybe someday you'll write to me, Harry.
Oh, God.
I'm stunned. I'm just stunned.
I know.
Oh, I feel like such an old fool. Not just a fool, but an old fool. Oh, my God, I just want to die.
You're not a fool, Blanche. You're a beautiful, loving, trusting woman. There's no fool here, Blanche.
I guess maybe I'm hoping the shock will be too much for my heart and I'll just drop dead right here. And the minister can bury me with Mr. Pincus and I won't have to look anyone in the eye ever again.
Except maybe Mr. Pincus.
Dorothy jabs Rose in the shoulder. We fade to a new scene on a new day. Rose is reading a magazine on the lanai, while Sophia is napping, purse still in hand, and spectacular sunglasses on. Dorothy enters from the house with a sopping wet newspaper in hand.
If I meet our paper boy, he will not live to be a paper man. Florida's having a drought. In the entire state, there is not enough water to make a cup of tea. He finds a puddle.
She takes a hand mirror out of her purse and holds it under Sophia's nose as she naps.
What are you doing? She's sleeping.
Just checking. You never know. Tell me, how is Blanche?
She didn't go to work again today. It's been 3 weeks and she just sits in her room. The museum's gonna fire her.
Well, we've tried everything. Golf, the movies, theater tickets. She wouldn't even budge for Julio Iglesias.
I know grief. It takes time.
Please, Rose. Listen, if you're Irish, you have a wake. You eat, you cry, you drink, you vomit, and you're done. If you're Jewish, you cry, you sit, you eat for 7 days, you put on 10 pounds, and it's over. We Italians scream, dress up a donkey, hire a band, and that's that. It's these Southern Protestants who make it a way of life.
When I go, put me in a steel sack and leave me on the curb next to the cans.
We thought you were asleep.
You never know.
Blanche comes out from her room looking ready for the day.
You girls shouldn't sit out in the sun.
We've been so worried about you.
Oh, I know.
I'm so glad you're up.
I'm sorry if I worried you.
Oh, sweetheart, how are you?
I'm okay. I really am. No, at first, I wanted to give up. To die, truly. Only time I ever felt worse was when George died, but then I had kids with me and I pulled through it. This time I thought, this is my last chance. My last hope for happiness. I just thought I'd never feel good again.
How long is this story? I'm 80. I have to plan.
Dorothy glares at her mother for a second, but turns her attention back to her friend.
This morning I woke up and I was in the shower, shampooing my hair, and I heard humming. I thought there was someone in there with me. No, it was me. I was humming. And humming means I'm feeling good. And then I realized I was feeling good because of you. You made the difference. You're my family, and you make me feel happy to be alive.
The three ladies are all holding hands, just so happy that Blanche is feeling better.
Let's drive to Coconut Grove for lunch.
Okay.
My treat. We have to celebrate
What? That she came out of her room?
that we're together.
And that no matter what happens, even if we all get married, we'll stick together.
Spoiler alert. Then we'll need a much bigger house.
Sure, Rose. After lunch, you can pick up the lumber. Ma, you want to join us?
Nope, I gotta rest. I got a date tonight.
Huh? With whom?
The fancy man and I are going to the dog track.
Your mother bets?
No, she rides. She's a dog jockey. Let's go.
They merrily exit the lanai and the episode ends. All right. And that brings us to the end of episode 1. And we will go ahead and, you want me to just go straight ahead?
Yeah, we've got this episode and then we'll have an intermission after.
Cool. All right. Season 4, episode 1. Yes, we have no Havana. It's evening and Sophia sits on the wicker couch as Dorothy grabs a newspaper and joins her. As she sits down, Rose enters from the front door.
Girls, guess what?
Wait a minute. Why do you always say girls? Do you see Molly Ringwald sitting here?
Well, you're awfully cranky today.
Well, forgive me. My arthritis is bothering me. My social security check was late, and I realized that I haven't showered with a man in 22 years.
Ma, Pop's been dead 27 years.
What's your point?
What are you saying?
Isn't it obvious, Dorothy? She showered with a dead man for 5 years.
Rose sits down as Dorothy gets irritated.
Rose, what did you want?
I have 2 tickets to the hottest Norwegian musical in town.
Rose, you really tempted me, but I have other plans.
You have a date?
Sophia chokes on a surprise nut cake.
Never say that while I'm eating.
I'm teaching history for an adult education program. It's for people who never got high school diplomas.
What else do they teach?
The usual high school subjects.
You mean like the 3 R's? Reading, writing, and rooster inseminating?
No, we just teach the first 2 R's.
Fine, but you'll be sending people out into the world who don't know you can get a nasty rooster bite if you don't warm your hands up first.
Blanche enters from her bedroom wearing a pink dress with a black blazer adorned with multicolored bows.
Girls, is this dress me?
It's too tight, it's too short, and it shows too much cleavage for a woman of your age.
Yes, Blanche, it's you.
Blanche beams with pride.
Another date with your mystery man?
Oh, he's no mystery man.
And how come you've been out with him 4 times? We know nothing about him.
Well, there is one little thing.
The doorbell rings. Blanche closes her compact with a freshly powdered nose.
That must be him. Rose, would you get the door, please?
Rose walks over and opens the door. We see a handsome older man in a white suit a la Colonel Sanders at the door.
Hello. Nope.
Hello.
You don't know why we're laughing. The script absolutely says Latinx accent, and we're not doing that.
I mean, his name's Fidel. I don't know what to tell you.
It was
Look,
one of those moments
I'm
that
not
I
about to get canceled for that.
Yeah, this episode is a little bit.
I'm not good with
revival.
accents.
I'm not gonna lie to you, but anyway, we'll just go. We thought you were Blanche's date, but you're way too old.
Hola, Blanche.
Oh, hello, sweetheart. Come here. I want you to meet all my friends.
Please forgive me. It wasn't my fault. My cousins have been marrying each other for generations. I'm sorry.
Everybody, this is Fidel Santiago.
How do you do? Very nice to meet you.
It's always a pleasure meeting beautiful ladies such as yourselves.
With that accent, you could almost buy it.
Thanks. And you must be Sophia.
Your face looks awfully familiar. Was your picture ever on a cigar box?
Ma,
No, she's right. That was my father.
May we continue, Commandant?
My family once owned the largest tobacco plantation in all of Cuba. Do you know that one time I was the most famous Fidel in the entire country? Till you know who showed up.
Ooh.
Rex, the Wonder Horse, Rose.
How did you know about Santiago cigars?
My husband was a fan, not of the cigars, the boxes. We used to keep all our fine cutlery in them.
Well, Blanche was right. She said you were incorrigible.
I guess I deserve it. I always say she's a cheap slut.
Maybe we better be going.
Well, yes, it was my pleasure meeting you all.
Good night.
Blanche and Fidel make their way out on the town while the other 3 ladies assess what has just happened.
Well, I guess that solves the mystery.
Who would have thought Blanche would date someone that long in the tooth?
I thought his teeth were nice. What I couldn't believe was how old he was.
Rose gets up and makes her way to the kitchen as Dorothy looks at her bemused.
You know, sometimes I really cannot believe my ears.
I know, I should have taped him back when you were 7.
Dorothy glares at her mother, and we transition to an exterior shot of a university building in the evening. We cut to an interior classroom filled with adults as Dorothy enters.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Please take your seats.
She sets her shoulder bag on her desk and starts taking roll from a tiny notepad. As she reads names off, the students raise their hands to acknowledge their presence.
Jorge Vega, Michael Fachik, Holden McGroin.
She looks incredulously at the list.
Holden McGroin? Oh, I get it. Holding my very funny.
Excuse me. I'm Holden McGroin.
I'm terribly sorry. I thought you were pulling my leg.
I don't think I could drink that much booze.
Sit down, Groin. Maria Gianelli, Rose Nyland. Rose Nyland?
We see Rose lower the history book that was in front of her face and sheepishly raise her hand. Dorothy crosses the room toward her to speak a little more privately.
Rose, what are you doing here?
Dorothy, I have a confession to make. I slipped through the cracks of the St. Olaf school system.
That's very hard to believe. I've seen you almost complete a TV Guide crossword.
It's true. You're looking at a woman without a sheepskin.
I've got an extra in my wallet I could give you.
No thanks. I'd rather earn it.
Meet you after class for a surprise nut cake.
Dorothy grabs her hand and leads her away from Horny Holden.
Rose, you never graduated from high school?
Not officially. 3 weeks before graduation, I was asked to be in the kissing booth at the Founders Day fair. Unfortunately, the first boy I kissed had a nasty case of mono. That afternoon, I passed it along to 50 young men and one very confused female PE teacher who smelled of Old Spice. I slept day and night for the next 6 months, and when I finally woke up, I had missed my graduation and the integration of Major League Baseball.
Rose, I'm very sorry, but honey, you cannot stay in this class.
Oh, please, Dorothy. I've secretly dreamt of getting a high school diploma for years, but I've never had the courage to do it. Now, with you teaching, I finally feel comfortable enough to give it a try.
Oh, all right, you can stay.
Thank you.
Dorothy returns to the front to proceed, and Rose makes her way back to her seat, but not without a flirtatious look from Holden.
All right, everybody, if you will, turn to page 5. Yes, Rose?
Rose has her hand raised.
Aren't you forgetting something?
What?
She stands up and turns toward, yes.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. That means everybody.
And
to
the republic for which
For
it
which
stands.
We fade out, and it's some time later. It's daylight, and Dorothy is sitting at the kitchen table, seemingly grading papers. Rose enters from the living room.
Hi, Dorothy. What are you doing?
I'm grading the history test.
How did I do?
You'll find out in class tomorrow.
Can't you give me a hint?
No.
Did I do better than Boris Yushchenko?
Oh, Rose. Boris Yushchenko doesn't speak a word of English, and he was hit in the forehead with a mortar during World War II.
A beat.
Did I do better than him?
No.
I'm a failure.
Rose, you are not. Now, come on. You're doing very well in every subject except history.
Well, I'm not surprised. It's all because of my high school history teacher, Mr. Stickelmeyer. He was a Nazi.
Oh, come on. A lot of students don't like their teachers.
No, I mean it. He was part of the nefarious plot by the Germans to teach misinformation so America's youth would be really stupid when the Germans invaded. St. Olaf was the first town chosen for their experiment.
Guess they figured they had a leg up there.
His orders came right from the top.
You mean Hitler?
Who's Hitler?
You are bad at history.
Blanche enters the kitchen from the living room and joins the ladies at the table.
Girls, I am just beside myself. Fidel's seeing another woman.
She grabs a piece of fruit on her way to her seat.
Are you sure?
Yes. We used to see each other constantly. Now I'm lucky to see him twice a week. If he's not seeing another woman, what else could he be doing?
Maybe he paints like Red Skelton.
Rose, would you please hand me my grade book?
Oh, sure.
Thank you.
Rose hands the book to Dorothy, who proceeds to smack Rose in the head with it.
You were saying, Blanche?
Well, it's just breaking my heart. I've never cared for a man as much as Fidel Santo Domingo.
Santiago.
Oh, whatever. The point is he's rich, he's handsome, and we were made for each other, even if I don't speak Mexican.
Spanish.
Whatever. I just don't know what I'm gonna do.
Oh, now calm down, Blanche. There's probably a very logical explanation.
You know, you're probably right. Oh, why would Fidel want another woman? After all, he's dipped his toes in the lake known as Blanche.
Rose glares at Dorothy.
And that wasn't stupid enough to deserve a hit?
Do you know what I'm gonna do?
Rose goes to cover her head.
Put your hands down, Rose. Since we all had such a bad day, let's go out for dinner. It's on me.
That sounds great.
I'll go get my purse.
We follow Blanche for a second as she heads to the living room, but return back to Rose and Dorothy.
Wow, dinner out with the girls. Oh, let's get really crazy. We'll eat Chinese and we'll use forks because that's super awkward. I know. I'll pretend it's one of our birthdays and we'll screw them out of a surprise nut cake. Boy, if I wasn't going, I'd be really jealous of me, but I am going, so it's all irrelevant.
Rose, did I hit you too hard before?
No, not at all. I'm trying a new hairspray and it absorbs most of the impact.
It's now evening again, and we see the ladies on a stroll at a pier, each with an ice cream cone.
Thanks for dinner. It was delicious.
My pleasure.
Oh, I really enjoyed it too. I had such a good time. I forgot about all about what's his name.
Fidel.
Rose is looking off beyond Blanche.
Oh, honey, I know what his name is.
No, I mean there he is, and he has his arms around another woman.
Blanche approaches good old Colonel Sanders and his side piece.
Fidel Santiago.
My papers are in order. Oh, hello, Blanche.
Fidel is standing in front of his lady friend, so we can't see who it is.
What in the hell is going on here?
Blanche.
How could you be so deceitful? What is it? Is she younger, more attractive, more desirable?
You got 2 out of 3, Blanche.
And Sophia walks up to Fidel and locks arms with him.
Sophia! What in the hell is going on here?
He's a man, I'm a woman. I got what it takes, and he knows how to use it.
I think I'm gonna lose my lunch.
Blanche, listen.
Fidel, don't sugarcoat it for her. Look, we happen to be an item. I'm even wearing his medical alert bracelet.
When did this start?
Well, I've always been allergic to penicillin.
Oh, not that. I mean this sick relationship.
Por favor, let me explain. I still care for you deeply. I did not mean for this to happen. It just did. When I would go to pick you up, I would always talk to Sophia while I was waiting, and to my delight, I found her to be very
Hot.
interesting. Look, ladies, I'm so glad that this is all out in the open. You're both wonderful women, and I want to continue seeing both of you. But of course, that is a decision that you will have to make. Now, if you'll excuse me, it's time for me to change into my third linen suit of the day. In this heat, I go through them like Kleenex.
With that, he walks off, leaving a wake of drama.
Of all the nerve! How could he possibly think I'd continue seeing him? Blanche Devereaux has never shared a man.
Or a pizza.
And what does that mean, you wrinkled old crow?
It means Fidel is interested in more than just a cheap thrill. He wants a mind.
Oh, yeah? Well, we'll see about that.
You're on, baby.
Blanche and Sophia go opposite directions in a huff, leaving a very confused Dorothy and Rose with their ice cream. We transition to a later evening, and Dorothy and Rose are studying on the couch. Sophia and Fidel are returning from a night out.
Fidel, stop. Even surgical stockings only have so much elastic.
She sees Dorothy and Rose.
Hello. I thought you two would be asleep by now.
The ladies don't have time to respond before Blanche comes out of her room in a white pajama set.
Girls, is this not gotten so sheer? I believe you can see right through it. Oh, hello, Fidel.
Hello, Blanche. How are you?
You don't have cataracts, you tell me.
Beat it, you 50-year-old mattress.
Why, you miserable old.
Blanche, you know the rules. When one of you is out with Fidel, the other does not interfere.
My apologies. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go take a long, hot, steamy bath with just enough water to barely cover my perky bosoms.
You're only going to sit in an inch of water?
Oh, that does it! That does it!
Blanche and Sophia start to rush to each other to fight, with Dorothy and Rose in the middle holding them back.
No, 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 ladies, let's behave in a more civilized manner.
Everyone calms down.
You're right. I apologize, Fidel.
So do I.
Well, good night.
Good night.
See you at noon for lunch.
And 6 for dinner.
10 for dancing.
Midnight for dessert.
Fidel nods with a cocky little grin on his face and exits, leaving the ladies behind.
Dessert at midnight?
There's always room for Jello.
Blanche strides up to Sophia face to face.
I just hate you. I regret the day you ever moved in here.
I regret the day I gave birth to you.
Ma, I'm your daughter.
Oh, yeah. I need a bromo seltzer.
She walks off toward her room,
I need a surprise nutcake.
which makes sense since her boyfriend's seeing someone else. She walks toward the kitchen. Rose and Dorothy exchange a quick glance and rush off to console her. In the kitchen, Blanche has already opened the refrigerator door to get the cake.
Blanche, I hate to see you and Sophia acting like that.
She's trying to steal my man, and no one ever steals
Steals
a
a
man
man from Blanche
Devereaux.
Devereaux.
Right.
Blanche, this is all about your ego, isn't it?
Ego? Dorothy, I have no ego. And you can ask the hundreds of men who would gladly cut off their right arm to sleep with me.
I agree with Dorothy. I don't think you'd even still be dating Fidel if another woman wasn't interested in him.
Girls, look, I know it seems strange, but I happen to have strong feelings for Fidel. I can't explain it. Some things in life defy explanation.
Yeah, like Bruce Willis's hair.
As Dorothy and Blanche look at Rose incredulously, Sophia enters wearing a yellow nightgown.
Blanche, I want to talk to you.
I'm in no mood to fight.
Neither am I. That's what I want to talk about. We've been at each other's throats for weeks. We've been running ourselves ragged trying to outdo each other, and it has to stop.
I'm not giving Fidel up, Sophia.
I am. I'm fighting a losing battle. You're younger, prettier, and in the end, he'll choose you, and it'll break my heart. He's yours, Blanche. No hard feelings.
She turns to exit. Blanche gets up and approaches her.
Oh, Sophia, wait. Why don't you take Fidel? I have all those other boyfriends.
Okay, good night.
And she exits before she can hear any protests. Blanche turns to look at the other ladies, who basically look at Blanche like she should have expected this. She calls after her and exits the kitchen.
Sophia! Sophia!
It's some time later in the daylight. Rose is sitting in a living room reading a magazine. Dorothy enters from the kitchen with milk and cookies.
Rose, I have a little surprise for you.
Cookies and milk? Oh my God, what's wrong?
Nothing's wrong.
We see Dorothy has a paper in her hand.
You only do nice things for me when something terrible has happened.
Rose, you failed the history test.
What does that mean?
It means you got more wrong than right.
I know that. I didn't fail math. I was talking about the bigger picture.
It means you won't get your diploma.
Yeah? Well, you have a big behind.
Oh, Rose, please. Let's try to keep this on an adult level. And if you want to talk behinds, they could show how the West was won on yours.
Truth. I can't believe this.
I'm sorry, Rose, but I have to grade you like everyone else.
She hands the test to Rose to inspect.
Well, look, Dorothy, you made a mistake. I got that question right.
Rose, the question was, who was the leader of the Third Reich? You wrote Fritz Stickelmeyer, your high school history teacher. The correct answer is Adolf Hitler.
Where's my history book? Is this the man you're talking about?
Yes, that is Adolf Hitler.
Well, you can call him whatever you want, but that's Fritz Stickelmeyer, and I'm as sure as I am that that's Ava Braun standing right next to him.
You recognize Ava Braun?
Well, sure, she was our high school PE teacher. It was rumored she used to date Mr. Schnickelmeyer.
Rose, that's it. I just cannot take any more. With this question right, you have a D minus. Rose, you're a high school graduate.
Oh boy!
She stands to celebrate just as we see Sophia enter from her room wearing a black sequin dress.
Sophia, I'm a high school graduate.
Congratulations. Now you can get any job involving a cardboard hat.
Rose hugs her and rushes off to further celebrate. Sophia comes to the couch to hang out with Dorothy.
Well, how do I look?
Hey, terrific. Where are you going tonight?
Fidel is taking me to the Burt Reynolds dinner theater to see Ruth, Bozzy, and Evita.
Blanche enters from her room in a dress covered in big pink roses.
Dorothy, how do I... Where are you going?
To the Burt Reynolds dinner theater with Fidel.
But that's impossible. He invited me yesterday after the movies.
He invited me yesterday after dinner.
This was bound to happen. The two of you have run that man ragged for weeks. It's no wonder he got confused.
The phone rings and Dorothy grabs the receiver.
Hello?
Confused? How could he possibly confuse this young, nubile body with that raisin and sneakers? Well, there's only one way to settle this. I'm going.
The hell you are! I'm going.
Neither one of you is going. Fidel isn't coming.
Oh, well, where is he?
Cut to a close-up on Sophia.
We killed him.
We pan out to see all the ladies dressed in black sitting front row at a closed casket funeral.
I know. We might as well put a gun to poor Fidel's head.
We were too much woman for him. His spirit was willing, but his poor heart couldn't take it.
It's all our fault. Our silly competitiveness did this.
Oh, come on, you two. The man was in his 70s. These things just happen. You had nothing to do with his heart giving out.
Rose looks around at the mourners.
Dorothy, everyone here is a woman.
Dorothy looks around as well as the clergyman starts the services.
We are gathered here today to honor the memory of a man who has suddenly been taken from us.
What are you looking at me for? Just keep talking.
Fidel Santiago was a very special man. He was kind, caring, and loving. He was a man who brought joy into all the lives into all he touched.
The group of lady mourners all burst into tears.
I have a feeling he touched every behind in the room.
Fidel Santiago lived life.
Excuse me, Father. Hold on, hold that thought. Which of you was Fidel's girlfriend?
Everyone but Dorothy, Rose, and the clergyman raised their hands.
Oh, my God, he had his burro hitched to every bedpost in town.
But that's good news, girls. That means your cheap animal like lust didn't have anything to do with killing Fidel.
I'm leaving. I am not about to mourn a man who's been with every woman in this room. Don't mind the cat.
I love it.
He was never with me.
Well, I guess even he had his standards.
She heads to the door, but Sophia stops her.
Hold it. Stay where you are. If you don't mind, if you don't mind me saying so, I think you lost control of the room.
She walks up to the pulpit and takes over.
Excuse me, that man in that box was a bum, a scoundrel, a cheat, a liar.
You got that right.
Quiet, I work alone. But there was another side to him, and it was beautiful. He awakened feelings in me I haven't felt in 35 years. We used to hug, kiss, hold hands, and it was nice. He made me feel very attractive and desirable again. He probably made the rest of you feel that way, too. And looking out at this kennel club, that's no small accomplishment. You may all hate Fidel right now, but I know the next time I'm sitting in a park on a warm, sunny day and I smell the aroma of a cheap cigar, I'll think of Fidel Santiago and I'll smile.
She comes down from the pulpit to her friends and her daughter.
Oh, Ma, that was very sweet.
Just lovely, Sophia.
Sophia, can you forgive me for all those ugly things I said?
Of course, it was just the heat of the battle.
You know, if I had to do it all over again, I'd let you have Fidel.
Oh, you're so generous. The man's packing material. Now you're letting me have him? I have coat racks livelier than him.
She gets up and starts heading out of the chapel.
She's giving him to me. That man's face has more powder on it than Ann Miller's, and she's gonna give him to me? A piece of lumber would make a better dance partner. Thanks for nothing.
The three friends look at each other confused, and the closing credits roll.
We have made it to intermission. So I'd say we come back at like 8:20. Does that sound good to everybody? And give me some
Sure.
time to feed the Doge. Oh my God, I can't with those dogs. Oh my God.
Aw.
If if our surprise dog that is here with me was not very temperamental, I would grab her and show her to all of you. But she's grumpy and she
Boys,
growls
are you
when I touch
sleepy?
her.
Boys, can you say hi? Can you wake up?
Oh,
What's up, Guster?
You guys done? You say hello.
baby. Hi, babies. Now Reggie thinks I'm talking to her.
Raz, do you want to come say hi to everyone?
Oh my goodness, I can't.
Razzle!
She
So
got
cute.
pizza today.
Razzle, I miss you.
Oh.
Don't worry, Erin. She has been just as much of a drama queen in your absence.
Okay, I'm gonna go pee.
All right, I gotta feed Reg. I'll be back. Reg, do you want some dinner? Come on, puppy. Reggie girl. Get your dinner. Oh my gosh, I can't with those babies. They're so cute.
I had to take off my $10 Amazon wig. It was so itchy.
I bet.
It's not like those high-priced theater wigs.
Yeah, those are never itchy.
Yeah. Those ones just make me sweat a lot.
Mm-hmm. Drag is not a summer sport.
No.
My first time ever performing outside, I literally, I thought that there was going to be a bathroom related accident from the heat.
Is it super hot up there already?
It's humid. It's just
Yeah.
like stink.
We've been on a heat advisory for the last 2 days and through the rest of the weekend.
Oh, that journey.
Ridiculous.
I
It's
just
like,
feel
just
like
glad
that's
we-
like June, July here.
Yeah. But in Atlanta, that's like June, July all year round, as far as I can tell.
actually, I was really surprised because May was really mild, more mild than it usually is, and the beginning of June was kind of nice. So I was like, well, maybe it's gonna be okay. And then they're like just vomiting humidity all over us. So, but yeah,
and
like
humidity
yesterday,
feels like vomit, so
yesterday and today by 9 o'clock in the morning, it was already 90 something degrees outside.
oh
Yeah.
no.
Like living in New York sometimes.
Truth. Well, it is
8:20 on the dot.
20 on the dot, and we are back. Just a little gentle reminder that we are raising money for the Squish, which is a queer support helpline, and we love that. And since we kind of miss Pride, we're doing it now. So please donate if you like what you're seeing. Even if you don't like what you're seeing, just donate anyway because it's a good cause. All right.
Absolutely.
Well, I think we can move on to the next episode.
All right, we are entering into season 6, episode 14, Sister of the Bride. As we open, it's another lovely Miami day, and Sophia is taking a tea kettle off the stove's burner. She glances at a newspaper and makes her way to the kitchen phone.
Hello, Frank's Flowers? Hey, Frank, Sophia Petrillo here. Listen, I decided the price you quoted me on these centerpieces is too high. So I thought maybe we can make a deal. Now my daughter is single. What do you mean is she easy? You're talking about my flesh and blood. 40% off. Oh, you bet she's easy. Sure, Dorothy'll love that. Okay, Frank, I'll set it up. Gotta go.
Sophia sees Dorothy entering the kitchen and rushes to end the conversation.
Who was that?
A florist. Guess who just got a terrific deal on flowers for the awards banquet?
Really? Oh, gee, Ma. You know, ever since the two of us started planning this banquet, you have been incredible. I mean, you told me you got a great deal on the flowers, the caterer, janitorial service. Oh, I wish I worked this hard for charity.
You will, Pussycat. You will.
Blanche enters the kitchen holding a piece of mail.
Girls, I just got a letter from my brother Clayton. He says he's coming for a visit next week and he's got a big surprise.
Oh, that's wonderful.
I bet I know what his surprise is, too. Clayton's met himself a girl and he wants me to meet her.
Honey, your brother is gay.
Dorothy, I think that gay thing was just a phase he was going through. You know, like when Clay was in high school, all he ever wanted to do was see gladiator movies. It's that same kind of thing.
Almost exactly.
Rose enters from the living room.
Rose, honey, congratulations. I hear you've been nominated again for the Volunteer of the Year award.
Yep. 7 years I've been nominated for the Volunteer Vanguard Award. In 7 years, I've had to watch Agnes Bradshaw snatch it away from me. Well, she's not going to do that this year. This year, I'm finally going to beat her. I'm going to win.
Why? Because you worked harder than Agnes?
Because she's dead. Yep. As a doornail. Dead, dead, dead. Coffee?
She heads to the counter to make her coffee.
Rose, how can you be so cheery? That's a terrible thing.
Come on, she was 89 and she died in her sleep.
She fell asleep driving the bookmobile.
It was a tragedy. She was my only real competition. Dead, dead, dead. Muffin?
She takes a plate of muffins on the kitchen table, and we transition to some time later. Rose, Dorothy, and Sophia are hanging out on the wicker couches when the doorbell rings. Blanche comes bursting out from her room and zooms to the door.
I'll get it. I'll get it.
She opens the door to find
Clayton!
Blanche!
Oh, you're still the handsomest man I know.
And you're still the prettiest thing I ever did see.
Now I know why they call it the Deep South.
Well, you remember everybody.
Oh, ladies, it's good to see you again.
He goes over to greet the other three.
Good to see you.
But Blanche grabs his hands and directs him back over to her.
All right now, baby brother. I have waited all week. Where is it? Where's my surprise?
Hello, everyone.
Surprise.
Oh, you can just put the luggage over there.
Okay.
Clay, I don't have any change to tip the driver.
Blanche.
I don't know why you took a cab from the airport.
Blanche.
You should have just called me. I'd have picked you up.
Blanche. This is Doug. He's my friend. My very special friend.
Oh, well, any friend of Clay's is...
She stops short, realizing just how special Doug is.
Ah. So...
Isn't it wonderful that they became so close between the airport and here? I hardly ever speak to any of my cab drivers.
Rose, Doug is not a cab driver.
No, ma'am. Actually, I'm a policeman.
Oh, well, what's a policeman doing bringing fares from the airport? I know. I bet you do undercover work.
And I'll bet he does it damn well.
You'll have to excuse my mother. She survived a slight stroke, which left her, if I can be frank, a complete burden.
Why don't we all go out to the kitchen and get something to drink?
Doug follows Rose to the kitchen.
That sounds good. Say, have you ladies known Blanche for a long time?
Oh, yes. You're in luck. She just loves policemen.
Sophia, Clayton, and Dorothy follow.
Apparently, it's a hereditary trait.
They leave an upset Blanche in the kitchen. We transition to the evening. The ladies are cleaning up in the kitchen after dinner with their guests.
I'll say this for Clayton. He has great taste. Doug is absolutely charming.
And funny. It's not every cop who can do a good Betty Davis impression.
I think I did a great job of covering up of how upset I am.
You mean like how you started sobbing when Clayton asked for a more surprise nutcake?
I don't really mind Clayton being a homosexual. I just don't like him dating men.
You really haven't grasped the concept of this gay thing yet, have you?
There must be homosexuals who date women.
Yeah, they're called lesbians.
Blanche looks utterly depressed. We hear Rose say,
Hot damn!
and she comes bounding in the kitchen, super excited.
It's happened. It's finally happened. Oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes.
I take it we now get the Disney Channel.
Even better. You are looking at the winner of this year's Volunteer Vanguard Award.
Oh, Rose, honey, what are you talking about? That award isn't going to be given out until Saturday.
I called to confirm our reservations for the banquet, and they said I don't have to pay for my ticket. The awards committee is paying for me.
So?
The awards committee wants to make sure that I'll be there to accept the award. It's the only logical explanation. I won.
Oh, Rose, honey, I think you're putting the cart before the horse.
And that's bad?
Look, Rose, I just don't want to see you get hurt.
Clayton enters the kitchen.
Blanche. Doug and I were wondering what's happening with the sleeping arrangements.
Oh, well, I'll be there in just a moment to get you two settled in. Now, if you two sleepyheads could just wait.
She ushers Clayton into the living room and turns to the other ladies in the kitchen.
Sleeping arrangements? What the hell am I going to do about sleeping arrangements?
Well, honey, why can't you sleep on the couch and give Clayton and Doug your room?
Are you crazy? What will the neighbors think if they see two men in my bedroom?
They'll think it's Tuesday.
They can sleep in Ma's room and she'll sleep with me.
Oh, Ma doesn't get a say? It doesn't matter what Ma thinks. Ma's a piece of furniture who has no feelings or opinions.
Nonsense, my little hat rack.
She gently kisses Sophia on the top of the head.
Blanche, I don't understand you. You can't very well say you've accepted Clayton unless you're willing to accept the fact that he dates.
Rose is right. And besides, Blanche, in this day and age, you should be thrilled that he's in a monogamous relationship.
Of course, you're right. I've just got to stop this overreacting. Doug and Clayton are two consenting adults. There's no reason to be embarrassed.
Clayton and Doug enter the kitchen from the living room.
Blanche, it's such a beautiful night. Doug and I are going to go for a little walk.
Okay.
Don't wait up.
Well, enjoy your walk.
They leave out of the back door in the kitchen and Blanche reassures herself.
I'm fine. I'm okay. I can deal with this.
Sophia looks out of the kitchen window.
Oh, look, the skipping.
Oh, God.
Joke. Just a joke. It's a joke.
Blanche slaps her hand while Rose and Dorothy exchange a laugh at Blanche's expense. We transition to a future day. Dorothy gets off the phone in the kitchen and makes her way to sit on the wicker couch with Blanche and Sophia.
I just had the strangest crank call. Some man wanted to know if I owned a riding crop and a leather bra, and if I could lick my eyebrows.
What did you say?
I said no.
Well, I guess we're paying full price for the cocktail, Franks.
Dorothy considers this while Rose enters from the lanai.
Good news. Clayton and Doug said they'd love to go to the banquet with us.
What? Oh, are you out as what is left of your mind? Why did you invite them?
I want everyone there for my moment of triumph, and it'll be a lot of fun.
Fun? Don't you understand? They will be there together.
But Blanche, they're here together.
Well, Dorothy, that's different. We're talking about going out in public. What are people going to say?
Probably nothing we haven't heard before.
Unbeknownst to Blanche, her brother and his partner have overheard her embarrassing rant.
Oh, Clay, I was just telling the girls that
We heard what you were telling them, Blanche, and I'm truly sorry you feel that way.
Will you tell me why you want to put yourself and Doug through this? You know how people can be.
And if my own sister can't accept our relationship, what chance would I have with anyone else, right?
Right.
She realizes what she said.
No, what I mean.
I get what you mean.
Blanche, we don't have to worry about what the world thinks about our relationship. It just doesn't matter because we're there for each other. I'd do anything for Doug and he'd bend over backwards for me.
Before Sophia or myself can remark, Dorothy wraps a hand over her mouth and puts her in a lock hold. She notices everyone looking at her and Sophia.
Sometimes I just love to hug my mommy.
I think it's time you told her, Clayton.
Told me what?
I wanted you to meet Doug for a very important reason.
Well, why?
Blanche, we're getting married.
That's impossible, Clayton. Brothers can't marry sisters.
She takes a second to ponder this.
That's right. You're from the South.
Blanche and Clayton aren't getting married, you airhead. Clayton and Doug are.
Oh.
It'll be a simple ceremony, just exchanging rings and affirming our commitment to each other in front of our friends. I mean, it's not like it's going to be a big fancy wedding.
Although we are registered at Neiman Marcus.
Well, you have pulled some stunts in your day, Clayton Hollingsworth. But this takes the nutcake. I cannot believe what I just heard. I refuse to have any part of this.
She heads toward her room in a huff.
Oh, Blanche.
Oh.
Blanche.
She slams the door shut. There's an awkward silence.
So, Butch, Sundance, who gets to throw the bouquet?
We cut to the evening of the award ceremony. Doug, Clayton, Sophia, and Dorothy are sitting around a table drinking libations. We follow a waiter as he makes his way around the ballroom and find Rose sitting by herself at a table with a ridiculous dolphin ice sculpture surrounded by flowers on it.
It really was. And the winner of tonight's Volunteer Vanguard Award is Rose Nyland. The crowd goes wild.
She stands up to practice her speech.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. What a surprise. I'm absolutely speechless. Well, except for the one I prepared. Laughter from the crowd. First of all, I would like to thank all the little people who have made tonight possible. Thank you, little people. Smile for the photographers. Wave to the fans.
Dorothy and Sophia are watching her as she does this. When she practices her wave, they wave back to her, which embarrasses her.
Rose, they're about to announce the winner.
I wish Blanche would have come see me win this award.
Honey, this thing with Doug and Clayton has been pretty rough on her.
Just to bring me up to speed, it's the brother marrying a gay cop thing, right?
That's a big part of it.
I don't see what the problem is. I think they make a very lovely couple. Maybe not lovely is the right word. They certainly make a husky couple.
They approach the table with everyone, and Clayton stands up to acknowledge them.
Ladies, I think a toast is in order. Here's the woman of the hour, a woman whose grace and kindness and warmth and concern for others is an inspiration to us all. Here's to Blanche.
Clayton spots Blanche approaching for the table behind Rose.
And he's mad at her. Think what he's going to say about me.
Blanche, you don't know how much it means.
I'm not here for you. I realize this is a very important night for Rose, and that's why I came. Just don't mind me.
Clayton sits back down and raises his glass to toast again.
To Rose.
I like this toast to Blanche better.
Meanwhile, Sophia is up at the podium on stage.
May I have your attention, please? We have come to the moment you've been waiting for, but before we hand out this award, I just want to thank all of those who made this evening possible, especially my daughter, Dorothy. Dorothy, stand up and take a bow.
She does so to a round of applause and some whistles from the waitstaff.
Oh!
She sits back down.
If I'm not mistaken, all the waiters were whistling at me.
Maybe they've never seen anyone eat a steak that fast.
Okay, on with the award.
Oh, God, this is it.
Good luck, honey.
Break a leg.
Oh, please, oh, please, oh, please.
The winner of this year's Volunteer Vanguard Award is Rose.
Yes!
She stands up to cheer.
Hand me that glass of water, please.
She grabs the glass and brings it to Sophia on the stage. She's still giddy in anticipation that it's her. Sophia opens the envelope.
Wow, what a surprise. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in history, we have a posthumous winner. Agnes Bradshaw.
Rose's face falls as the crowd applauds. She stands up in frustration.
It's a fix. She's dead. She doesn't need her own mantle. She's on her mantle.
Blanche and Dorothy both grab an arm and pull her down into her seat before she further embarrasses herself.
At this time, the awards committee would like to ask Agnes's dear friend and her favorite runner-up, Rose Nyland, to accept the award for her.
Rose looks mortified, but the girls prod her to go up there. She takes the award from Sophia and studies it like it's a forbidden treasure. Sophia smacks her shoulder to wake her up.
What a surprise. I'm absolutely speechless, except for the one that I have prepared. Laughter from the audience.
But no one's laughing.
What can I say about my good friend Agnes? I'll never forget the last time I spoke to her. She said, Rose, I don't understand you. You work so hard, so much harder than the rest of us. And I remember I said, well, couldn't this wait just a minute? I'm reading to the blind.
Sophia quickly returns to usher her off the stage.
That's enough, Rose.
Oh, but it's so golden.
Let it go. Come on, let it go.
But Rose has a death grip on it, dead like Agnes was.
Let it go, you loser.
She finally wrestles it away from Rose.
Thank you, Rose Nyland. Let's give her a big hand.
She returns to her seat, utterly crestfallen.
Honey, I'm so sorry.
Sophia walks up with a portly, bald man in tow.
Dorothy, I'd like you to meet Irving Capella. He's the one that did the ice sculptures. Aren't they nice?
75% off.
Irving would very much like to take you out for some cappuccino and salsa dancing.
Maybe some other time.
She turns away from them and Irving gets upset.
Hey, I thought we had a deal.
Ma, what is he talking about? What kind of deal?
Pussycat, you know how much I love you.
You sold me, didn't you?
I didn't know what to do. I had no budget.
Oh my God. Now it all makes sense. Why the hat check guy serenaded me with Moon River. Why the chef gave me that extra large cut of beef. Why the busboy did that thing with his tongue. Ma, how could you do this?
She walks back to her seat and Sophia realizes what she's done.
Okay, hey, Irving.
Huh?
Sorry, our deal is off. My daughter doesn't want to go out with you.
But we shook on it and everything.
If it makes you feel any better, I'll go with you.
Instead of her, I go out with you?
Right.
Okay.
Dorothy turns around in her seat, shocked that her mother was a fitting replacement for her. Suddenly, a lady in a gold velvet dress makes her way to the table.
It's so good to see you again, Blanche. And who have we here? Hello, I'm Susan Dodd.
I'm Clayton, Blanche's brother, and this is Doug. He's my...
Blanche suddenly stands up and screams,
Fire! Fire! Everybody out!
Gaston, don't pay any attention to that, buddy. Everybody gets up, looks around, notices no fire, and turns to stare at Blanche.
It's a small fire. It's out now.
Everyone returns to their seats looking a little bit awkward.
So, who's for decaf?
Sophia places a hand on Blanche's arm.
Smooth.
Blanche, how could you do that? What did you mean when you told me that you could accept my being gay? You mean it was okay so as long as I was celibate? It was okay so long as I don't fall in love? Doug is a part of the family now, my family. And if you don't like it, then you don't have to be a part of my family.
The fellows get up and head out of the ballroom, leaving Blanche with egg on her face. Again, I love when you write the narration. We move to later in the evening. We're back at Blanche's house and she's sitting in the kitchen contemplating the evening's events. Sophia makes her entrance in a baby blue nightgown.
Blanche, I've been thinking about Clayton and Doug, and I have a question.
What?
Why do men have nipples?
I have no idea.
You think it's because God has a sense of humor and isn't as uptight as the rest of us?
It's easier for you to say that, Sophia. It's not your brother who's getting married to a man.
Hey, it's not like the guys in my family never kissed a man. Of course, that was business. Although there was that one hitman who always had to have a flower in his lapel and who would hold the kiss of death a little longer than he had to.
Oh, look, I can accept the fact that he's gay, but why does he have to slip a ring on a guy's finger so the whole world will know?
Why did you marry George?
Well, we loved each other. We wanted to make a lifetime commitment. Wanted everybody to know.
That's what Doug and Clayton want. Everyone wants to grow old, someone to grow old with. Why shouldn't everyone have that chance?
Sophia, I think I see what you're getting at.
She gets up from her seat.
I don't think you do. Blanche, will you marry me?
Thank you, Sophia. I need to go talk to them.
Fine, but I'll need an answer. I'm not going to wait for you forever.
Blanche laughs and heads into the living room where Rose is sitting on the wicker couch feeling sorry for herself.
Oh, Rose, honey, you feeling any better?
I'm still so ashamed.
Oh, Rose, nobody's gonna remember you even making that scene. When we left, everybody was still talking about Dorothy leading that busboy conga line. Besides, there's always next year.
Get it, Dorothy. Well, I've made a decision. I'm going to throw myself into charity. I'm going to spend all my free time making other people's lives better. I lost sight of the real goal. It isn't about fancy banquets. It isn't about getting your name in the paper. It isn't about winning the award next year.
There now. That's the spirit.
Blanche heads to the bedrooms to find Clayton and Doug leaving Rose.
It's about getting that dead woman's name off this one.
And she grabs the trophy from under the couch pillow next to her, clutching it fiendishly like Gollum in the ring. We cut to Sophia's bedroom where Doug and Clayton are packing their suitcases. Blanche lets herself in.
We have to talk.
There is nothing for us to talk about.
I wasn't speaking to you.
She makes her way to Doug.
I have just one question for you.
Okay.
Do you love him?
What do you mean?
Well, you see, he's my baby brother, and I've always felt it was my responsibility to look out for him. So I can't just let him get married to just anybody. So, do you love him?
I do. Very much.
Well, good. 'Cause so do I.
You mean that, Blanche? Because Doug loves me for what I am, not for what he wants me to be or wishes I were.
I guess I deserve that.
I guess you do.
Well, Clay, this is very difficult for me. I can't say I understand what you're doing, but I do intend to try to respect your decision in doing it. I want you to be happy.
I am happy, Blanche.
I know.
So, you are telling me you're ready to have a brand new brother-in-law?
She takes a long moment to consider this.
I suppose I am.
Brother, sister, and dog hug it out, and Blanche turns back to Doug.
Now look here. Now he's not perfect. He's a stubborn streak and a bad temper.
And he snores.
That'll just be our little secret.
The episode ends with a group hug.
Woo woo.
I liked that episode. I just want to point out that these the southern accents are going super insanely well to me.
Y'all are killing
I don't
us.
know. It's maybe like I'm from the South or something.
Right? West Virginia, born and raised. Let's go.
All right. And this is, Ginger, if I'm correct, our final episode for the night.
Yeah.
So we'll be closing tonight with season 7, episode 2, The Case of the Libertine Belle. It's a lovely day at Chateau Devereaux, and Rose is cooking on the stove. She brings a plate of sausage and eggs to Dorothy, who's reading the paper at the kitchen table. Sophia enters from the living room.
Oh, morning, Ma. How'd you sleep?
Pretty good. I dreamed I was making love to Jay Leno.
That's a strange dream for you to have.
Not really. It was a Monday night and he was filling in for Carson.
Blanche comes in from the garage entrance and makes her way to the coffee pot.
Morning all.
Oh, Blanche, honey, how was your date last night?
Oh, unforgettable. Mel Bushman and I were coming back from a champagne picnic at Sunset Beach. We ran out of gas in the middle of nowhere.
Oh my goodness. What did you do?
Blanche smirks.
You name it.
Blanche, you got a call last night from something called the Maltese Falcon Club?
Oh, good. Remember, I was asked to select the activity for the museum staff's annual outing? Yesterday, I signed us up for a murder mystery weekend at the Queen of Keys Hotel.
You mean the kind of thing where mock murders are committed and then guests try to solve them?
Exactly.
That sounds like fun. You know, back in Minnesota, I was known as the Sherlock Holmes of St. Olaf.
Figured out which one was Shinola, did you, Rose?
The hard way.
I sure hope this weekend is a success. It could give me a shot at becoming Kendall Nisbet's new assistant.
Who's Kendall Nesbitt?
Oh, he's the museum's director of acquisitions. If I got this job, it would mean going to Europe with him to look for rare paintings and antiques.
Well, if he has an eye for antiques, should be a shoo-in.
Look who's calling the vase mean.
There's just one hitch. I need 3 more people to get the group rate at the hotel.
I thought hotels always gave you the group rate.
Yes, sweetheart, but this is for the whole night.
Is there any chance I could persuade you girls to join me for a little murder mystery weekend?
Blanche, are you kidding? I have read every word Dashiell Hammett and Raymond Chandler ever wrote. Now, Sam Spade and Philip Marlowe have become a part of me. She had more curves than the Monaco Grand Prix and was twice as dangerous. Her jewelry was mute testimony that Charlie Chaplin wasn't the only tramp who hit it big in this town.
You do this on first dates, don't you, Dorothy?
Oh, does this mean you'll go?
Of course we'll go.
Sure, anything for a friend.
What the heck, I'll go too.
Yeah, like you had a choice.
They continue breakfast and we transition to the weekend where we find ourselves in a bustling hotel banquet hall. The ladies are dressed in their finest 80s elegance, sipping coffee and observing the activity.
When do you think the mysteries are going to start?
You want a mystery? You should have tried the pink dressing at the salad bar. Geez, the mystery continues.
She hands her coffee to Blanche and heads to the ladies' room.
Now, girls, remember, look at everyone over carefully. Try to figure out who are the real guests and who are the actors pretending to be guests. It'll help when it comes to solving the mysteries.
Okay, Dorothy, if that's your real name.
Rose starts to mingle around. She approaches a middle-aged woman at a table.
How's that coffee?
Terrific.
She makes her way to the table she's sharing with the other ladies.
Blanche, you're wearing my earrings.
Oh, I know that.
But when I asked you before where they were, you said you didn't know, and now you're wearing them.
Well, Rose, there could be 2 explanations. Either I was lying, or I was wrong about the number of explanations.
Rose genuinely ponders this joke as a gentleman in a white and black tuxedo approaches their table.
Blanche?
Oh, Kendall!
Blanche, I must commend you again. I have a feeling we're in for a weekend none of us is going to forget.
Oh, I do declare, your sweet words could charm the morning dew right off the honeysuckle.
That was good, Blanche. Now do Brer Rabbit.
I believe the fun is about to begin. Ladies?
I think I got to him, don't you?
Your eyes are as good as rolled back.
I do believe that things are going to turn out even better than I... Oh, Kendall sitting down with Posey McGlynn. She is my main rival for that assistant's job. Oh, look at that shameless way she's flirting with him. Disgusting!
You flirted with him.
I'm from the South. Flirting is part of my heritage.
What do you mean?
Our mother was a slut, too.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure we all join his son, his daughter, and his new bride, Candy, in wishing many returns of the day to our friend and patron for 40 years, Giles Forsythe.
The crowd applauds, and the camera focuses on a cook as he wheels in a 2-tier cake when suddenly the lights go out, and we hear a gunshot and a woman scream. The lights return, and we see that Giles is face down in his dinner, and Candy has had her throat slit.
Oh my God, they've been murdered.
The butler takes 3 robotic steps away from the couple to address the dining hall.
Does this mean we don't get any birthday cake?
Please, nobody touch anything. My name is Spade Marlowe. I'm a private detective retained by the late philanthropist Giles Forsythe. Because when an 88-year-old man marries a 22-year-old girl, he likes to know what she's up to.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but does anybody but me think that's a little precious? Think the hat's a little precious?
Spade does a little whistle and nods his head to Sophia to indicate she needs to take her seat. She abides.
Today was Giles Forsyth's birthday, and he intended, as always, to celebrate by having dinner here with his son Philip, a well known collector of pre Columbian artifacts, his spinster daughter Gloria, and of course his new bride Candy. I've failed to protect my client, but I'm determined, with your help, to solve these crimes and bring the murderer to justice.
As he's speaking, he kneels down and picks up a bloody dagger that was under the table with a handkerchief. He holds it up for the room to see.
Maybe that bloody dagger will lead us to the murder weapon.
St. Olaf.
Boy, he is good.
Unusual knife.
Yeah. Cut the cake.
I recognize that. It's a rare Mayan sacrificial dagger.
Well, that could prove to be significant. Undoubtedly, that weapon was used to kill Mrs. Forsyth, but obviously her husband was shot.
Then there must be a gun.
South side?
Uncanny.
He whips out what looks like an unsharpened pencil toward the daughter, Gloria. The same woman that said the coffee was terrific.
Do you mind?
Oh, right ahead. You won't find anything.
Spade reaches in and immediately pulls out a gun.
What I believe they refer to as a purse gun, and it's been recently fired.
Understand.
Ladies and gentlemen, you now have enough clues to solve these murders. Who did it, how, and why?
The butler did it.
I'm a maitre d'.
Thank you. The maitre d' did it.
Other guests start shouting out ideas.
Philip did it.
Gloria did it.
It was Colonel Mustard in the library with the candlestick. Oh, she says the butler did it, and I'm the idiot?
Blanche's nemesis, Posey, stands up and addresses the room.
The answer is obvious. They both did it.
Now, if Miss Smarty Pants solves the crime, she'll make a big impression on Kendall, and I'll just have to kiss that job goodbye.
Philip was a collector of pre-Columbian relics. Candy had her throat cut with a Mayan dagger. He killed her. The gun was in Gloria's purse. She killed her father.
Nice try, ma'am, but Philip and Gloria are innocent of those crimes.
Perhaps, but they are both murderers.
She rises to address the crowd.
Sit down, Dorothy. Don't make a fool of yourself.
Would you care to explain?
In the first place, it is unlikely that Gloria murdered her father. Statistics show that patricide is overwhelmingly a male crime, although daughters frequently murder their mothers.
She says this looking directly at Sophia.
If Gloria had killed her father, would she then have tried to conceal the weapon in her purse? Ladies and gentlemen, I think not. That gun was obviously planted in her purse to pin the murder on her.
Rose hits the table and stands up.
I got it. A maitre d' is some kind of waiter.
Everyone stares at her till she sits back down.
On the other hand, Philip would never pick a Mayan sacrificial knife as a murder weapon, too obvious. But it would be no problem for his sister to sneak the weapon out of his collection.
This woman's pathetic.
Oh, big news. Tear out the front page.
Notice that the dagger was found to the left of the victim. A throat.
And she holds a butter knife up to Sophia's neck.
A throat is almost always cut from behind.
Not part of the show, people. Not part of the show.
Being right-handed, I would slash from left to right. But from the fact that the murder weapon was dropped to the left of the victim, we can deduce that the murderer is left-handed. Notice that Gloria, like most left-handed people, wears her wristwatch on her right wrist. I think it is painfully clear that Philip and Gloria both planned murders and each meant to pin it on the other. They knew that the lights would be turned off when the cake appeared because that happens every year. Coincidence? Ha! Siblings often think alike.
You've given us a who and a how and a ha, but what about a why? What's the motive?
When a 22-year-old marries an 88-year-old, chances are she's not after his body. Oh boy. Gloria and Philip were both afraid that Candy would persuade the old man to change his will, and they both hoped that pinning the crime on the other would make them the sole inheritor.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The who, how, and the surprise nutcake.
The crowd breaks out in applause.
Dorothy, that was a real tour de France.
Thank you. Thank you, Rose.
We see that Blanche has just been speaking to Kendall. She excitedly rushes over to the ladies.
Girls, guess what? Kendall just told me that he needs to be alone with me.
What did you do?
Well, what else? I gave him my key to our room. Now let me have yours, Rose. You can bunk with Dorothy and Sophia tonight.
But we were gonna be roomies.
Either you're bunking with them or you can sleep in the closet.
Closet.
Give me that key.
She grabs the key from Rose and chases after Kendall. We transition to later in the evening, and there's a knock on the door of Blanche's beautiful hotel room. She crosses the room to answer.
Coming, Kendall.
But instead, a hotel worker in a tux comes in with champagne and 2 glasses on a silver tray.
Oh,
Compliments of Mr. Nesbit.
well, how sweet. I'll take it.
No. I've got it, ma'am.
He looks around the room to find a place to set it down when he suddenly looks panicked.
Oh my God.
Kendall Nesbit has been stabbed in the chest and is dead on Blanche's bed.
Oh my God.
If you had pearls to clutch. We cut to the hallway, where we see the 3 ladies as the hotel worker runs out of Blanche's room. The ladies enter.
It's all right. What is this all about?
He's dead.
Blanche, calm down. This is undoubtedly just another part of the mystery weekend.
Oh, yeah, he looks pretty dead to me.
All right, Ma, give me your mirror.
What for?
Every morning I hold it under Ma's nose. If it fogs up, I start the coffee.
She holds the mirror about 10 feet from his nose.
Seriously.
No breath. Oh my God, he's dead.
Oh God.
Blanche sinks into a chair as the hotel worker runs back in with another gentleman in a gray suit.
I'm Vaggie, hotel security. Nobody touch anything. You see no one was in the room but her and the victim?
That's right, sir.
He's dead all right. Steak knife right through the heart.
Well, that must be what killed him.
Say no laugh.
It's like I'm wearing a sign.
I want everybody out of this room. I'm clearing until the police get here. And nobody leaves the hotel, especially you. As of now, you're the only suspect.
Indicating Blanche. The men leave, and the women are all standing in a line. Blanche turns to face Dorothy, who turns to face Sophia, who turns to face Rose, who turns and finds no one behind her. We transition to later in the evening, and the ladies are in Dorothy and Sophia's room.
If they put me in prison, I'll be brave. I can handle it.
Blanche, you don't understand. They'll put you in a women's prison.
At this, Blanche freaks out.
Don't let me go, Dorothy. Don't let me go.
Honey, you are not going to go because you are not guilty.
I understand you can have anything for your last meal. Just ice cream if you want.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
She runs off to the bathroom. Dorothy looks sternly at Rose.
You're not helping, Rose. It's almost as though you believe Blanche is guilty.
Well, she lied about my earrings. She took them. I mean, deceit, then theft. Isn't murder the next logical step?
St. Olaf, right?
Face it, Dorothy. Blanche was discovered in a locked room. Only she and the victim had keys. I mean, give me another explanation.
The trouble is, I can't.
Oh, come on, pussycat. You figured out the mystery at dinner.
Oh, Ma, that was a game. This is life.
Oh, that's right. You've never been good at life.
Blanche has returned from the commode.
How can I be accused of murder? I am a Devereaux. Things like this usually happen to people named Petrillo.
I take offense at that. No one in my family ever left a body to be found.
With that, it's now morning. We're back in the dining hall with the other guests sitting at assorted tables, though this time we have police milling about.
Okay, I'm Lieutenant Alvarez, Dade County Homicide. Here's what I got. At around 9:45 last night, this guy went to room 405 carrying champagne ordered by Nesbit. He was he was admitted by Blanche Devereaux and discovered the corpse. Now, Miss Devereaux and this dead guy had the only two keys. Forensic says that the cause of death was a stab wound inflicted by a steak knife. We know Miss Devereaux had steak for dinner. Given these facts, unless somebody has something else, we've got enough to make an arrest.
My, Mr. Officer, I do declare your sweet words could charm the morning dew right off a honeysuckle.
Blanche, not now.
If not now, when?
Blanche Devereaux?
Wait. You haven't established a motive.
You want a motive? I'll give you a motive. That woman gave Kendall her room key. I saw her do it. Her plan was to seduce him to ensure that she would win the job as his assistant. Then she got the other key to the room from that woman there. She rushed up to the room. She tore off her clothes.
That's Velcro. It'll give you the illusion of a tear.
She flung her dress on the bed. She slipped into a negligee and awaited her prey. What she didn't realize was the reason that Kendall went to her room, the reason Kendall ordered the champagne was to let her down easy. He already promised me the job, and the reason he went to her room rather than having her come to his was that I was sharing his room.
Slut!
When Kendall told her the truth, she flew into a jealous rage. She plunged the steak knife into his chest. That tramp murdered my lover.
I know Blanche Devereaux, Lieutenant, and this tramp is incapable of committing murder.
Okay, we've got a motive, we've got a weapon, and we've got one suspect with no alibi. Blanche Devereaux, I'm charging you with murder. You have the right to remain silent.
Wait. Why? Why would she bring a steak knife to what she thought was a romantic liaison?
It could have been for anything. I'm not familiar with her sexual proclivities.
What? Are you a rookie?
You still haven't answered the question of how somebody else got into the room.
What if there was a knock at the door? Nesbit might have assumed that it was the waiter with the champagne.
Well, that's just speculation.
But one more point. The hotel security chief cordoned off the room, so the only people who saw the room after the murder, other than you and your staff, were the waiter, the security chief, and the four of us.
So,
When Miss McGlynn was reconstructing the murder scene, she described Blanche's dress being slung over the bed.
it was. I saw it.
But Miss McGlynn could have only seen it if she'd been there prior to the murder. I think I see now how it happened. Last evening at dinner, when Miss McGlynn saw Blanche give Kendall Nesbit her key, she was furious. She dropped a steak knife into her purse.
Big deal. I took the whole place setting.
Not now, Ma! And when she felt that she wouldn't be missed, she slipped out of the dining room and headed upstairs. Kendall had let himself into Blanche's room while she was in the shower and was making himself comfortable when there was a knock at the door. Thinking that it was the champagne, he opened the door. Posey was there. She accused him of two-timing. He denied it. Posey pulled out a steak knife, plunged it into his chest, and left the room before Blanche could discover her. Jealous rage was the motive, all right, but Blanche wasn't the murderer. There's your murderer, Posey McGlynn.
Well, Miss McGlynn, what do you have to say now?
Dorothy Zbornak, you've stuck your nose in it for the last time.
With that, she whips out a tiny gun and means to shoot Dorothy, but thankfully Lieutenant Alvarez pulls her arm up so she misses.
Posey McGlynn, I charge you with murder of Kendall Nesbit.
All of a sudden, we hear a voice coming down the stairs.
Lieutenant Alvarez, I don't think that'll be necessary, as I seem to have recovered from my death. but I would like to thank the Maltese Falcon Club, and in particular Blanche Devereaux, for giving us a weekend we'll never forget. Thank you for coming.
Everyone applauds.
So wait a minute. You mean these guys were in on it?
I was in on it too.
Oh, come on, you were not.
Oh, all right, I was not. Damn it, I just hate being the brunt of jokes.
Funny, you don't mind being the brunt of limericks.
That's different. That's poetry.
Wait a minute, there's one thing I don't understand. When I checked to make sure that Kendall was really dead, why didn't his breath show up on your mirror?
Simple. The mirror had been sprayed with defogger.
But who could have done that?
I did. The people at the club asked me to.
Well, Rose, why would you do such a cruel thing to me?
Well, Blanche, there could be two explanations. Either I was getting back at you for taking my earrings, or... Oh, who are we kidding? That's why I did it.
This whole thing is just unbelievable. Kendall, you're not dead? And I didn't kill anybody.
And I didn't take any silverware.
Does this mean I'm still in the running for the job?
Of course you are.
And he kisses her on the cheek.
So this was all a mockery. No crimes were committed at all. What a load of fun.
She goes to pick up her purse, which is clearly full of things she's pilfered from the hotel.
Pussycat, help me carry my purse to the car.
Fade to black, and the end.
Woohoo! I think this is one of our fastest reads, but it was definitely a lot of fun. I would like to thank everybody for coming in and doing this read for me. We had our wonderful dad / Sean, who was all of the ladies and holding my groin and had the amazing cat cameo all night, which I appreciate. Who's that kitty?
This is the second kitty.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, it's a kitty. I love it.
So many cats.
So many cats.
Okay.
We had the wonderful Robert Nash. We thank for coming in and helping out. Oh, look at that kitty.
And another kitty.
Kitty cameo.
Love all the kitties. We had Drew Davis in as our whodunit crime stopper and Fidel, the not Latinx speaking man. Appreciate. And we had the wonderful Andrew Watson as Dorothy in her full Dorothy glory. I appreciate. We had the amazing mom / Michelle as Sophia. We had the amazing Stephanie Six Trombones as Blanche freaking Devereaux. And, my dumb ass was Rose. So very much appreciate y'all. Again, if you have an extra $1 or $2, throw it to the squish for us. We appreciate you. And we'll be back next time with more shenanigans and puppies. Oh my gosh.
Oh, perfect.
He's a tired baby.
He's always a tired baby.
No. Oh, kisses. Too cute. Well, thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time.